Welcome to Spaghetti Launchers, a world-building podcast where we throw spaghetti at the wall and it's up to you what sticks. I'm Kyle.
I'm Ethan. This week we will be discussing Inquisitors and or secret police, Gestapo types.
Well, wow, we had to bring up the Gestapo already.
KGB.
They are the most famous of them.
KGB's up there. I think KGB might be more famous.
Maybe now. Yeah.
Is it the type of thing where is a secret police, if you know about them, have they failed?
I think it's more that they operate in secret and you don't see them out there clearly. It's unclear what they're doing, I guess is more it.
Got it.
Secrecy in the way they operate, not in their existence.
Got it.
It could be that they're secret in their existence. I thought of a couple ideas when I was trying to brainstorm on this one that were like, oh yeah, just like literally no one knows that they're there.
Double secret probation.
Yeah, I think but the Inquisitor part, I think, is where it, like, incorporating them together really leans into what we're talking about, I guess.
Yeah.
It's more of the like, yeah, you don't want them on your tail.
Right.
They will come for you and they will seek something.
Right.
They are after things to be determined.
Right.
The Inquisition, Spanish Inquisition.
No one ever expects it.
No one ever expects it.
and maybe it's the type of thing where they're known about in whispers, like, or rumors, but like they're not necessarily in your world. They could be not necessarily officially known, but then suddenly you meet somebody and who introduces themselves as a member of this group, and it's oh,
that's real.
Oh, that's real.
Yeah. Or
oh shit.
Yeah. And then like on the other end of the spectrum is KGB. Literally everybody in the USSR knows who the KGB were.
Correct.
And probably knew who members of the KGB were, and they were just like, oh, don't piss that guy off. That guy's in the KGB.
And if they show up, you piss yourself because
you're fucked.
Right.
You will be in a gulag.
Right. It is a problem. So like it works both ways.
Yeah.
I think there are three levels of it, right? You could think of it, they're completely secret, no one knows they exist, and they're just sort of like out there in this form, right? Then there's the rumor middle zone, and then there's the third, they're public, they're out there, they're well known, and if you see them walking around, you hide.
Yeah. I watched Inglourious Basterds recently.
Oh, so good.
And just the opening scene, it really hammers home this confidence that someone who's in a secret police type position would have.
Right.
That they can just come into your home and just do whatever the fuck they want and just exert power over you because you can't do anything about it.
Right.
Because I think that's part of the dynamic is that secret police or inquisitors are acting with impunity and their power level is way beyond everybody else's.
Yeah.
In most situations. Right. It is really hard to stand up to them. And in history, people don't. Because you do that, you end up in a gulag or you're shot.
Dead.
Yeah. And inquisitors would just burn you at a stake or whatever.
Sure.
So I think that's incumbent within what we're talking about. That has to be part of it, at least from my perspective. But that seems great. Everyone should go watch the movie again because it's great. It's very long, as is Tarantino's entire catalog.
I think Inglourious Basterds is Tarantino's best work.
I can't disagree with you because I don't think you're wrong, but I think I haven't seen everything he's made. They're all just really good, though. He's just a very good director. So it's hard to say any of them are bad.
I think Pulp Fiction is and Kill Bill is great. Like Pulp Fiction might eke it out, but
yeah, probably.
If you ask, I think, yeah,
Pulp Fiction for the dialogue and the insanity of whatever the fuck that plot is, aka no real plot.
Right.
That's pretty incredible. It's compelling and. Nonetheless. Anyway, welcome to Kyle and Ethan Discuss Movies. I'm Kyle.
I'm Ethan. This week we will be discussing Tarantino. Apparently.
Yeah.
Which also sounds like a pasta dish. Oh, yes, I love the Quentin Tarantino.
Yeah, kind of.
Yeah.
The Quentin Tortellini.
Yeah. Tarantino Tortellini.
The Tarantino Tortellini. That's good.
Yeah.
Let's start a theme restaurant.
I love it.
All movie directors turned into pasta names. The Spielbergioni.
I like that. I like Francis Ford Coppola Fettuccine.
No, wait. Francis Fettuccine Coppola.
Francis Fettuccine Coppola could do that. Yeah, that's good. Lucas Linguini.
Lucas Lasagna.
Lucas Lasagna.
The Lucan,
Nope, can't say Lucan. Well, yeah, you can't say it, but that's just a made-up word.
Yeah. I was like,
no, I like Tarantino Tortellini. I like...
I think we can probably call it there.
Tarantino Tortellini is just really fun to say.
Yeah. Anyway, back to the podcast.
Tarantino Tortellini.
Yes. But so Secret Police and Inquisitors.
Indeed.
What is the menu for yours? What's your 3 words? Give me your description, buddy.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Baldur's Gate 3?
Baldur's Gate 3.
That's a curious way to tee this up.
Baldur's Gate 3.
All right. Big fan of that description and that game.
Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay.
What you got? Hit me up.
Diabolic pact makers.
Ooh.
But let's start with Baldur's Gate 3.
Okay. Baldur's Gate 3, this is a plot setup. It's not going to spoil anything. It's also pretty well known at this point, game of the year, so I don't care about spoilers. The plot of Baldur's Gate 3 is that your character is and the people in the party that you end up developing or forming bonds or connections with. You are a party because you all have mind flayer tadpoles inserted into your brain against your will. I thought that was pretty cool. There have been several amazing videos, most notably by Matt Colville, talking about how this is one of the best excuses for bringing a D&D party together that they've seen in a long time. It just eliminates so much guesswork about why would all of these people be friends? Well, because they all have these tadpoles forcibly inserted into their brain.
Yeah.
I think that would be a super cool idea for a secret police. Insofar as these are people that they have been selected. They might have been randomly pulled off of the street. These, secret police are typically, it is a rank that is attained, right? It's almost like a detective, right? Where you can say, hey, I want to go become a spy. I want to go become a detective. I want to go become a member of this. And then there's a path to work your way up. But I like the idea, sort of inspired by the agents in the Matrix, where they can exist everywhere. Right? Every person that's plugged into the Matrix is potentially an agent. I thought this would be cool if you didn't kind of operating that middle world or that middle zone that we talked about the secret police are rumored.
Yeah.
You call them the tadpoles, right? Because they have had some sort of creature or device or something surgically implanted in their brain so that this person, the body, at times is not only unconsciously transmitting information, what they see and hear, back to some hive mind type thing, but also the host or hive mind can actually take over and start controlling that body.
Yeah.
Remotely.
Very much the collectors in Mass Effect 2.
A little bit, yeah.
The Harbinger.
Yeah. What the indoctrinated.
Yeah, well, and then there was the Harbinger was the guy who was sitting at a desk with all these screens essentially and could just take over
one, and then it would the orange column of light, right?
And he would take over that body and then use it as his host. There.
Yeah, sort of like the Matrix with the agents too, right?
Yeah,
and so it's this is a secret police or a group that is. It's rumored that they exist, but because they don't, there's no regalia to them. There's they operate in secret, quote unquote.
Yeah. Well, what are they doing? What are they concerned with? Because if they're being, usually a secret police is run by some entity, usually a government, to secure the state. And in this case, it's mind flayers.
Well, it's not necessarily mind flayers.
Okay,
but
but in the Baldur's Gate example of it's mind flayers, it's an elder brain. They're just trying to conquer the world.
Right.
The more that they can tadpole people and convert them into mind flayers, the better for them.
They're host bodies. That's all they are.
But in this case, what's the goal? What are they looking for? What are they looking to achieve as secret police?
They are trying to. In my mind, they are agents of the state.
Okay.
And insofar they function very similar to any state secret police.
So they are not, there's not an elder brain in control of them.
No, it's not an elder brain in control.
It is like the king putting a tadpole or equivalent in people.
A ruler of a head of power of some sort. It could even be a corporation, right?
Yeah, it would work well. And it sounds very cyberpunky.
Yeah. Depending on the story that you're trying to tell. Right. It could be a CEO of a major evil corporation. It could be whatever you wanted it to be. But for me, I see it as a good mechanism of control from an entity of power. That entity could be a state, a government, and it's company, whatever.
It's similar to sleeper cells.
Yeah, or the Manchurian Candidate.
Yeah, just we can activate you now, and now you have to do what we say.
Yep.
Winter Soldier.
Yeah, exactly.
That, except subtle, and the hive mind.
Yeah.
I think the hive mind is what makes it, you have to have that, because then they are function. Because when you talk about the hive mind, I was thinking about like, oh yeah, they can relay information, but I'm thinking that they act in unison through the hive mind as well. So say there's a bust like on this warehouse, like there's some partisans in this warehouse we need to take down. They in unison through several entrances all burst in at the same exact time.
I see.
They fight
it's
in
actually
unison.
Coordinated.
They use the hive mind to coordinate.
Right.
If you get in a fight with them, they act through multiple bodies with one mind.
Right.
So they're incredibly difficult to defeat because they act with the hive mind, but through multiple bodies. You could have this big burly dude coming in and bruising, but then he has a backup who's like a small
sniper.
Or like a little ninja person who just can like agilely move around you and just while he's bruising. So
but it's all one thing.
It's all one thing.
Yeah.
So you can use the skill sets of them all together in this hive mind.
Yeah.
So you have an interrogator who's incredibly adept in the moment there, who through the hive mind can communicate all of the information he's gleaming with everybody else in the hive mind elsewhere in the kingdom or wherever.
Sure.
And if someone's an expert on something or say through the hive mind, you're interrogating a guy.
Yeah.
Guy says,
as you do.
Guy says, under duress, he says, "Oh, the secret hideout is
Dantooine. They're on Dantooine.
They're on Dantooine." And then in the hive mind, someone's on Dantooine.
Mm-hmm.
They're the exact location, and they report back immediately.
So they're fact-checking in real time.
That's
cool. So I had not thought of that as an outcome. You're totally right. That would be very cool.
It's used to exert that sense of power and imposing nature of them.
Yeah.
They're using all of the skills and knowledge of the whole hive mind to really hammer home, we are more powerful than you think we are.
Right.
It is the Hans Landa moment.
Right.
It's the I know where they are.
Before you even know.
Yeah. They're under the floorboards, aren't they?
Yeah.
They're not on Dantooine.
Right.
Don't even bother telling me that. They're in the warehouse next door, aren't they?
And it's to the scene for Hans Landa, right? Like his intelligence, his human intelligence, his reasoning, his logic is what's terrifying.
Yeah.
This type of intelligence is equally terrifying, but it's literally you just know things. Like it's not that you figured it out.
It's because it gives off this sense of omniscience.
Right.
How the fuck do you know all these things?
Right.
How are you everywhere all the time? It's because they have perfect information symmetry across the entirety of this, the tadpoles, or whatever they're called, which is terrifying and gets to the secret police quite well,
right? Because they can get there, they can be anywhere. You don't know who they are. They often probably don't know who they are.
Yeah,
and part of the reason I like this idea about them not knowing who they are, and almost that, like that Matrix or the Harbinger approach, is that I don't want it to be like the Manchurian Candidate or any number of political thrillers where it's like, oh, we're trying to get to the president to make them.
It's somebody random.
Yeah, it's someone random. Well, that's the strength I like.
We talked about this recently on an episode where somebody would be taken over. I think it was like they would be taken over and they would administer healthcare.
Right.
They would take over a random person's body and they would become like a goddess who would go in and help.
And you were sent there.
And then you would be broken out of the stupor and then you'd be, oh, wait. Did I
do that?
Did I just do that? And they're like, yes, you were taken over. And it was a culturally positive thing. And it was a good vibes moment. This is not very good vibes.
Not at all.
But the similar thought of your body's taken over and then, it can be anybody. It can be random. But it can't be too random because it has to be the people with the tadpoles.
Of course. So. My feeling is that there is an underlying logic to it, almost like in Fight Club. There was a deliberate...
I never heard of Fight Club.
I know. There is a deliberate... Like, we are the people that, he says in that speech, right? We are the people that make your food, that build your houses, that get right. Like, do not fuck with us. Mm-hmm. It's something about, like, the power of these people, of the random person.
Yeah. And I like the idea of it being a king who is inserting these tadpoles into people, both willing and unwilling. And the idea that anyone who goes into the dungeons, any prisoner... there's a chance that they've been tadpoled.
Yeah.
But they don't know necessarily. Well, they don't know, and nobody believes anybody who comes out of it. So then the king will just start arresting people at random.
Yeah.
To start creating more doubt and make it less, because then if everyone just starts suspecting it's only the criminal underbelly that could be tadpoled, they're like, nah, we're bringing random people in for a day to talk to them about stuff and start, because this is clearly a bit of a police state no matter what, if you're at this point. So they're inciting that fear and creating that misdirect of, you guys might think who could be tadpoled. You don't. It could be anybody.
And it also, to do that part of it, would have to be a catch and release program. And by that, I mean, they would have to bring people in, deliberately not tadpole them.
Yeah. And then just throw them back out.
Release them to create that doubt.
Yeah. They're just bringing everybody in, and it's like 1 in every 10 people gets tadpoled.
Yeah. And maybe it's selected at random, even.
Yeah.
That would be harder to do. But yeah, you could do that. I think that could be a lot of fun.
Yeah. I think it's cool.
So yeah. So that's Secret Police, the tadpoles.
Nice.
Yeah. What you got?
Okay. So I want to do Secret Police that aren't representing the state.
Ooh.
They represent
Secret Rebels.
Asmodeus. Or devils. I'm going extra planar.
Yeah.
Because they're more Inquisitors. There's a bit more Inquisition style.
Sure.
Devils, and this is very D&D lore heavy, this idea. But let's be honest, that's our audience. So,
which for the tadpoles, that could be fun actually. I'm sorry to interrupt, but as a D&D mechanic, you could at some point as the DM just say to a random player, and just say, by the way, make a wisdom save.
Yeah. Boom.
You fail. Oh, now you're tadpoled.
Yeah. Fun.
Anyway,
they are in D&D lore. Devils are all about law,
right?
Contracts,
right?
They don't lie.
Nope.
That's like a whole thing.
Yeah.
You will never be lied to by devil. You will be lied to by omission, and you will be
loopholed.
You'll be loopholed. You'll be double speaked. All that.
Right.
But they believe in the sanctity of a contract.
Yeah.
What if humans break contracts? The devils know, and they come for you, and they say you've broken a contract.
Any contract.
Any contract.
Oh shit.
Any deal that's been made, if you go against it, and whether it's business, whether it's family, whether it's like betrothal,
right?
If it's a contract,
if you get divorce.
I think it's contracts broken one-sidedly, not a mutual dissolvement. Okay. It's like you broke a contract, not a contract ended, not a contract was voided, any of that. It's you broke a contract, and they come for you and they force you into a pact with the devil because they're devils. They have a lot of power. They can kind of express their will.
Well, it's blackmail. That could be an interesting way into
it. I'm not even doing that. I'm just saying they just force it. They control your hand basically.
They like literal force.
Yeah, literal force.
I dig it.
Thinking of in Harry Potter where he is writing the I will do no wrong or whatever.
I must not tell lies.
I must not tell lies, and then it's on his hand or on his arm, kind of like that, where there's a sadistic nature of we're forcing you in this contract. Yeah. But the reason they're doing it is because nobody will care if the contract breakers are being punished by devils.
Right.
Because they are not upstanding citizens. And the devils know we're going to get that soul no matter what. This person's a greedy asshole. This person is not well liked by the heavens to begin with. We will just kind of twist the knife a little bit further. They're on their way to us. We're going to make it happen faster. We're going to get that soul now. We're going to lock it in, but we're going to use them in the meantime.
How austere is this society? Is it like, are we talking like if I say like, oh, I am notoriously late to shit. So if I say like, oh, I'm going to be there at 5 and I'm there at 5:20, does that count as a broken contract?
No.
Okay.
We're talking like serious contracts.
Okay.
Handshakes maybe, but it's mostly going to be actual contracts. And I was thinking about this really from the perspective of business people who break a contract because it's a clear contract.
Right.
You break it, they come, and then all the other people in that business go, well, he got greedy and he got fucked for it. and the angels aren't going to intervene necessarily on their behalf to be like, well, that guy's kind of the domain of the devils to begin with. If the devils just want to use him now, like we have bigger fish to fry, whatever it is. But it's also because it's cleaning up society in the process. And this is where it's a bit of a win-win, because now business practices that are shady are being like very intentionally avoided by everybody, because every smart business leader knows you do not break a contract. You don't do, like, you have to be careful about the practices you use, because a devil will come and will force you into a deal.
Yeah.
It doesn't mean you can't do shady shit, but it means you have to be really careful, and you definitely can't break any contracts. But it also means things like you are not inheriting what you were supposed to inherit when your parents died or something, because somebody's like breaking the contract or something. That's not going to happen anymore, because that person's about to get fucked.
Two questions. They're not questions. 2 thoughts. One, I could see this going down a route where people might actually, in this case, just stop doing contracts, because
maybe
the cost, the cost benefit ratio is too high. Second thought, would this make contracts explicitly less clear? Would you see it so that every contract that is made is written? It's almost like you're incentivizing people to think like devils, to think in terms of loopholes and double speak and build that shit
good
in.
for them. It could be good for them, but also it could
Would this be encouraging evil behavior then?
Probably.
Okay.
It's kind of what they want.
Yeah.
They're devils. But even if it doesn't,
right?
If it encourages people to start being a bit more mischievous in how they construct the contracts, that increases the likelihood that they fuck them up and break them. So people might actually say, no, let's make it really clear and really simple and just stick to it. Because I don't want to.
I will bring you 20 bushels of wheat at 4 p.m. on Saturday, February.
Loopholes is a great way to get caught yourself.
Yeah.
So people will be less inclined to do it, because they don't want to accidentally screw themselves over and be in a devil pact.
Ironically, this is a great nuclear deterrent as well.
A little bit, yeah.
From one of our earlier episodes.
Yeah. That's a good point.
Yeah.
And if contracts become less relevant, then you just like, this could just be for any deal that is sufficiently advanced.
Right.
They have magic. They can figure it out.
Right.
You hand wave and just say, you is a handshake is sufficient. You've come to an agreement.
Right.
And maybe that's where maybe they don't force the deals on you as aggressively. Maybe it's less of you have to have the deal. Yeah. It's just more that they will approach you if you break a handshake deal. You'll be approached by devils, and their sheer force of will and their imposing nature, and much like a secret police, they will just you'll give in to what they want by their presence alone.
Yeah.
Rather than we're going to force you to just sign this submission.
This makes me feel, this is a great mechanism you could also use for like an organized crime syndicate too, where devil's sort of acting as organized crime. And I'm thinking of it more from the blackmailing route, where it's, we know all of these things about you. We know that you are an adulterer, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Adulterers is that's a perfect option.
We're not going to punish you for it. We're just going to tell people what happened, or you can sign this contract with us.
Yeah. Do you want us to keep your secret or not?
Right.
Yeah, it's great. And
that's devils as secret keepers. That's kind of cool.
Yeah. Because they're usually, keepers of like forbidden knowledge, for instance, and they'll sell you that knowledge for a price.
Right.
But and if that knowledge becomes, I know all the secrets of all the people in the world.
Yeah.
You want to know what the king's been up to?
Yeah.
Well, the price is pretty steep.
Right.
I will tell you precisely how to blackmail the king and get what you want.
Right.
But the price is going to be, you have to give me, the most important artifact in the world.
Right.
It could be anything like that.
Or something, I'm a big fan of true crime dramas. It's like, there was a detective on one of them once that said, when two people do some really shady stuff together, there's only one way to keep that secret, and that's to kill the other person.
Yeah.
So if someone did some, there was a contract broken because of some shady stuff, you go to that other person and say, I can make this go away for you.
Yeah.
Or let it go public.
Yeah.
But in return, you have to sign this contract.
Yeah. I will kill the guy.
Yeah.
I'll take him out.
I'll do it for you.
Yeah.
You don't have to worry about it.
Yeah. And nobody will know that I killed. No one will know he's dead. He will disappear into the nine hells. Right. He will go.
Or natural
causes.
Yeah, natural causes.
I can cause those.
Death Note style, heart attack.
Yeah, I'm a devil. I have a lot of power. I can make that happen, and no one will blame you. No one will know. He will not have any chance to. And any evidence that he has, I will remove it because I know where he keeps it. Because I know where everyone keeps everything.
I like this content. I like that it's devils. I like that it's diabolical. I like that it's also. It's not. It's using information to threaten, but it's not using information to threaten. It's not just the power of the state. Yeah. Right? It's not we're just going to throw you in jail if you don't do it.
Yeah. It's far more complicated.
It's far more complicated, and it's all, but it is also all caused by the individual's own actions.
Yeah, and that's what I was focusing on.
That's cool
because secret police are acting on oftentimes just rumors, hearsay, bullshit, just nothing. They're stoking fear.
Right.
When you have almost all the information because you're, powerful devils, you know what's going on in the world.
Right.
You can actually target the people that are, one, more likely to agree to a deal because they have evil in them to begin with, and two,
or
who are more vulnerable and more desperate.
Correct.
You get that information, and you don't need to just willy-nilly grab anybody and threaten them. You can threaten the people who will say what you want them to say. It's like that's not from The Godfather.
Make him an offer you can't refuse.
Yeah, make him. You make him an offer you can't refuse. Make him an offer he doesn't want to refuse.
Right. Don't raise the stakes. Create demand.
Yeah, and you can do that if you're a devil.
That's great.
Yeah.
So that's legit, man.
Yeah. So
that's great.
That's my diabolical pact makers.
I dig it.
All right. Well, want to go to the speed round there, buddy?
Secret police is one person. It is a secret policeman.
Okay.
They are a shapeshifter.
Nice.
That's it.
Like it.
Literally, it's one character in the world. It is just, who are you? I'm the secret police. Man, woman, person, changeling, police changeling. That's it.
Okay.
It's
speed round. I can't follow up. So
yeah.
No.
I don't think you need anything else. Go.
Yeah. Thank you. No notes.
Yeah.
Okay. I was really invested in seeing if I could play around with making secret police that were secret in the other way, and that they were police in the other way, and that they were actually good and were helping the world be better. My devils kind of did that with
that's funny.
Taking out the trash.
Yeah.
But then I was thinking about an angelic police force where they are secret agents of angels who are roaming around, and they will know if there's someone being abusive, being evil, doing something shitty, and they will just intervene and just snuff that shit out in secret. No one has to know or see, and no one has to report anything. They just kind of know. They just show up, just kill a diabolical cultist, or just
the invisible hand,
or just remove an abuser from a situation and just drop him in a mountain. All types of shit. But just it is the invisible hand of God.
Yeah, right.
Basically,
quite literally,
actually making things work well. So there you go.
Pro.
All right.
Awesome. So what stuck for you, my man?
I don't know right now. Do you know what stuck?
I really like the organized crime vibe of your secret police.
Oh yeah, the Secret Keepers was a good idea.
The Secret Keepers, I think that's kind of fun, where you are forcing, but it's not. It's like you're inviting, you're creating the demand. I think that's very cool, and it's not particularly because you're not punishing. It is punishment.
Yeah.
But it's not go to jail punishment.
Yeah.
It's work for us punishment.
Yeah.
And I think that's almost worse depending on the jail.
Yeah.
But I think that's really cool. I also really like the hive mind for the tadpoles. I think that takes it to a different level where it's not like individual agents. It is still one. it is almost like the secret police lightning round idea where it's one secret police agent. It's just a hive mind.
Yeah, it's just a bunch of people.
Yeah, I think that's cool.
Yeah.
Those are the two things that suck for me.
Okay. I think what stuck for me is the Secret Keepers. That's great. Great sauce on those noodles. I think that stuck. And then I think it's the king bringing in all the people in the catch and release to really sow doubt of who's been tadpoled. I think that also stuck.
Yeah, like feeding the conspiracy theorists.
Yeah, and just throwing everyone off the scent just to say I will exert control over all of you and you will accept that.
That's great.
You have no recourse here.
Yeah, that was really cool. That was very good.
Well, that's what stuck for us. Let us know what stuck for you.
Emails in the show notes.
Thanks for listening.